you want to talk about first? Novichok, Zelensky?
Zelensky's a great, I mean, here's the thing
right.
about Zelensky. If you followed, Ted and I also do another podcast called DMZ America. And for years, you and I have been talking about this. And as I mentioned at the top of the show here, that I was a supporter of the Ukraine and its resistance against the Russian invasion. But you continually brought up, Zelensky, not a Democrat, Zelensky, the corruption that was starting to show its face. Where was the money going? We didn't even know what happened, for instance, to Russians who were taken prisoners. Have we ever seen or heard a report about what Ukraine does with Russian POWs? I haven't, and I've made a concerted effort to look. I couldn't just be looking in the wrong places. The point is that democracy's got a democracy, that's just, there's no other way around it. And so when you're supporting someone who is supposedly fighting for democracy, he was a duly elected, as Ted will give you the backstory on that. But he was ostensibly a duly elected president of Ukraine. But then he cancels elections. He cancels regional elections. And people here are and this is what drives me crazy, Ted, is people here in the diaspora of political talk make excuses for anything. He says, well, he's having a war. Well, guess what, folks? The United States had elections during a fucking civil war. You can have elections. They're not that hard to hold, regardless of the circumstance. Yes, they'd be extraordinary circumstances, but what a message to the world to say, yeah, even though we're being invaded by an overwhelming force, we still are holding them off enough to have elections. And that would have been an extraordinary moment. Zelensky chose not to do that. He was
concerned about, what's the word, losing?
Well, I don't know that he would have lost the early elections. Who knows? I mean, that's the thing about elections. You don't know. That's why they hold them.
Remember, he had very low approval rating before the war began. So
did he?
Yeah, he was in the toilet. I mean, he would have been jealous of the numbers Trump has right now.
And he could have, he could, and you can always bring that back. Don't forget, what was his, Yeltsin was polling at 9% when he ran for re-election in Russia.
I'm surprised. I'm like, who are these 9%?
Well, his family and the oligarchs he gave stuff to.
Bartender.
To finish the thought, you have been you've been on the cutting edge of this story, as you are so often on, and you get no credit for it. You have been pointing this out for years, and some of us began to listen to you and began to look. Oh yeah, Ted's right. This is corrupt. It's undemocratic. We're backing the wrong horse, or we shouldn't be backing any horse. We should just be going, wow, look at that. That stuff's happening. And, maybe that's what Trump means when he says this wouldn't have happened under his watch.
Well, I don't really want to read. I mean, I don't know. We can relitigate the whole Ukraine war, and I'm always happy to do that because I feel like I feel okay with my position, right? I'm not running away from it. And I don't run away from my positions when I change them either. But in this particular case, what I really wanted to focus on is this report from the New York Times, which is like, I'm shocked to find corruption here.
Yes.
I mean, it's like Ukraine has had, has been ranked something like number 173 by Transparency International's list of most transparent countries, least corrupt countries. I mean, it's had a long-standing corruption problem, even by the standards of former Soviet republics, and even pre-Zelensky as well. Zelensky ran in part claiming that there wouldn't be corruption. He did have a pretty funny joke when he was running. He was asked, like, can anyone be president of Ukraine without stealing? I don't know. We should try to find out. Well, apparently we did find out. Apparently the answer is still no. But according to the New York Times, which has been, running interference for Zelensky and for 3 years plus, they're saying that Ukraine set up these oversight boards to make sure that there's no corruption. But, basically Zelensky stacked those boards with his buddies, left the seats completely empty. What, Hunter Biden wasn't available, or stalled them from being set up at all. And that that Zelensky even rewrote the company charters so that there would be no oversight whatsoever. The point is, here's the issue, Scott. even if we think that Ukraine is a righteous cause, or any country is a righteous cause, and that we should interfere in that, and I don't believe in that. I just don't. The U.S. experiences with regime change. I don't even. But like, okay, shouldn't you, as a caretaker of American taxpayer funds, how can you fund a wildly corrupt country when you know that all the money is not going to go to the defense of that country? It's going to be stolen and go to pay for villas in Lake Como. That's what happened here. Any asshole could see it coming because of Ukraine's current and recent history of corruption. I mean, on that basis alone, I would have said, like, well, we love you, Ukrainians. You guys are beautiful. Love you. You're all blonde and everything. Can't help because we don't trust you. We don't think you'll. I mean, look at all the billions we poured into Afghanistan, into, again, a wildly corrupt government, and all the money. The soldiers who wanted to fight the Taliban didn't have ammunition because all the money was stolen. So, I mean, you can't really help a corrupt country, is my point.
Right. And the reason I brought up all the other earlier stuff is that, it just set the table for corruption. When you're supposed to be a democratic, country with democratic institutions that presumably have safeguards and governors to prevent corruption. That's basically what what we do, or what democracies do. And when you get rid of democracy, then you set the table. You're going to have corruption. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And that's what's happened here. And the world is handing this guy lottery, big lottery-sized checks on foam cores. You're already a winner. Here's $1 billion for this, $1 billion for that, with no accountability. Well, again, sticky fingers are going to. Oh
my God! I love Elliot's comment. The irony of American foreign policy: people who don't understand how to govern Ohio or Michigan think they know how to govern a country with a totally different culture and history across the ocean. Can't say it better, so I'm not going to try.